Hello, welcome to Slade on Slade. This is my wife Leslie. I am Keith, and today is Writer's Block. Writer's Block. I knew I'd get over that hump. Don't forget, I am also the author of the upcoming book, The House of Ribbons. Hopefully, you'll get tied up in that book. Get it? It's a ribbon joke. Going back to the twist from a previous video. If you haven't seen the video, that wasn't funny then. That was pretty funny. It's something you guys shouldn't see. Don't worry about it.
So writer's block is the state of being unable to proceed with writing or the inability to start writing something new. So today, instead of asking you random questions about it, I am going to say something and you are going to tell me a way that you overcome it or if you use it, okay?
So that's random questions with extra steps.
Okay. So what do you do when you develop a writing routine?
My writing routine is I sit down at 10, I pray to the gods that my twin 13-year-old daughters, who are both on the wrestling team, don't want to get into a scuffle and or nobody calls anybody a bitch, and then there's a 45-minute verbal argument. So 10 p.m., dad time, want to be left alone.
And do you use imperfect words when writing?
Man, I hate the imperfect words. They piss me off so much. So a week ago, I am in the shower, about ready to get to my writing time, and I think of the word albeit. And I want to use it in a sentence. I already know the sentence I'm going to use because it's in there. And I get downstairs and my daughters are arguing. Long story short, somebody throws something, knocks off some of my incredibly treasured toys and off my desk, because if I don't put the toys there, I got two cats that like to walk all over my keyboard, and that irritates me. So, long story short, I forget the word. I write the imperfect word in its place, knowing that I'm going to remember this word. I remember it 7 days later, which is today. Then when I put it in there early today, because I write sometimes in the daytime, I realized I had effed the entire paragraph because I wrote it around the substitute word. So, whatever you want to call it, substitute word or just standby word or placeholder word.
Yep. Do you do non-writing activities?
Yeah, I like to play darts. I'm not a big video game guy. I used to be a while back, but I just couldn't be confined by the video game world anymore. It seemed boring. It seemed like every game was the same thing. Go get an apple so the witch will grant you a wish. But before you get the apple, the tree, I'm done with this. I'm not running video game errands. So I do stuff like that, and I study a lot. YouTube is an amazing place to do a lot of studying, and this month is I got a Dremel, so wood carving. Last month was all more Greek mythology, because that's the main thing that I study. And I think before that was...
SCPs?
Yeah, the SCPs, the SCP world. If you don't know what that is, just type in SCP, and they will explain for you.
Free writing.
So I don't free write as much as like my friend. She free writes a lot because I don't like writing notes, because I never come back to my notes. I come back to my notes in the revision time where I pull it out of this little shoebox I got. I go, oh, that's some brilliant shit. I wish I used it right there. And then when you try to plug in and play, sometimes it doesn't work. And then sometimes, to my excitement, I find that I had written the same exact thing that was in my notes, and I don't see them for months apart from each other. So,
So the next thing I have is to relax on your first draft.
To relax on my first draft?
Yeah, so...
You mean like I spread all the papers out and just get naked and roll around on it?
No. I mean, like...
Ouch, a paper cut!
Don't think that your first draft is going to be your
Oh,
last
man,
draft.
yeah, just ease right back. I don't care what you wrote. I do not care what you wrote, okay? I can't tell you if it's good or not, okay? Unless you're confident, okay? I don't let anything get looked at besides my wife until the second draft. So even my critique partners and beta readers, I drew a blank there for a second. They don't see stuff until it's near finished. But the third revision, I write it once, I reread and revise 3 times. It's just a process I go by, and it's actually something I super enjoy. It's like editing. I put myself in the state of mind of editing somebody else's book. I take something, I go, this is how I would make it better. So just chill out on your first. Don't say it's garbage. It's not. If you think it's that way, put it in a drawer, let it sit a day, a week, a month, a year, then come back and just do it's like a cake. Build that shit in layers.
So another one they say is to take a shower.
Yeah, because nothing loosens up the imagination like being buck naked, just looking down, going, if I clean it for so long, is it technically playing with it? Hey, it's an honest question. I mean, it's just, I want it to shine, but sometimes scrubbing it a little too hard is not great. Loofah. So use no loofah. It's a hand thing only. Kind of, however you do.
Okay. What about balancing your inner critic?
Oh man, you got to be careful with your inner critic because your inner critic is an asshole. If you think any critic out there in the world is going to be more of an asshole to you, then you have a thin skin, and you don't want to have a thin skin. You don't. Okay. I look in the mirror every day and go, "There's nothing any person on this planet is going to say to hurt my feelings," because no matter what, somebody's going to hate my book on like a level of which they want to shoot me in the face. Okay. Why? Because we live on a planet full of just people who just like to tear each other down all the time. But you are going to be the person who tears yourself down the most. And why? Why? Tell me, give me one good reason why that's just another level where you got to bust your own balls on. Okay. How about this? You don't like it? Put it in a drawer, come back X amount of time later. Okay. Revise that shit. Okay. You can always make it better. Okay. You can not fail unless you try. Okay? If you try, you cannot fail. You can always tell somebody, okay, no matter what they say, be like, hey, I tried. Well, what did you do? Okay? What did you do? I wrote this book. I put it out. I did not fail as a writer. It doesn't have to be critically acclaimed to be a success. Success is what you put on it. Okay? You don't have to earn that $1 million. So one book and somebody gives you a pat on the head, hey, man, take that banana, go get on your swing, and like a monkey, swing around and enjoy yourself.
So the next one is switching up your tools, which I know you don't do because
it's attached to me? Wait, what kind of tool are we talking about here?
I'm talking about your pens and pencils because you are particular about keeping.
Yeah, don't touch here's the thing.
It's just
don't touch my stuff, okay? I don't touch other people's stuff. I maintain the cleanliness of my own area and everybody else's area. That's just because of what I like to do. But when I started writing the books, I laid out Ford-colored pens, okay, and other things that I needed for this, okay, in the hopes that if this book had taken off, I could leave extra things aside that people are going to want, How many people out there would pay a lot of money for, a pen from Stephen King or the late Isaac Asimov? I mean, people pay crazy amounts of money for stuff like that. Or, they get auctioned off, or they, the book does well and I do a giveaway, and I'm like, this is the pen that I wrote 1,000 words that's begun this entire journey, and that it's doubled because that's the part of hope too. You want to keep these items in hopes that you do something. You don't want to write something and just go, I hope it does well. Okay. Remember, what you say will not always be what happens, but what you say can happen. But you got to make it happen. That's why we do these videos. It's all about marketing. It's that constant push.
So the next thing is change your point of view in the story. Sometimes a fresh eye at the story will.
Yeah, you mean like
point of view? So somebody
like
else.
What Caroline said.
Yeah.
Her point of view on that certain character.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's really good. Okay, and again, this comes with ego. If you're writing a book and you got a big ego. This is not really gonna. It's not work. It's not gonna work for you. But I don't know because I'm not you. Okay. But for me, I don't have a big ego. That's why it's super hard to hurt my feelings. Plus, I spent time in the military, and my wife will tell you that I'm one of those guys that you can throw any comment my way. I'm just barely gonna bat an eye. I'm gonna roll eyes and just be like, yeah, whatever. Okay. So you don't want to write from a point of view of an ego or... Did I get way off track? Holy shit. Where are we? Just go.
Okay, so the next thing is to exercise your creative muscles, which you write other parts of the story that come to your mind, right?
Yeah. So.
You don't just stay on track with one thing. If you have something
No,
that
no, no.
comes
When I
up,
was in the middle of writing the second book, the House of Sleepless Dreams, I wrote a children's book, and I wrote it because of something that happened with my daughter. Something that happened. It's about losing a tooth. Um, it's a funny adventure spun from that. I didn't write it because it was a writer's block. I just wrote it because I felt it was time. My wife will tell you that I don't procrastinate stuff. I just say I'm going to do stuff when it's time to do stuff. And I know when it's time to do stuff, which sounds like procrastination. But when I say it's time to do stuff, do I get that shit done?
yep.
And is it done to 100% and sometimes better? Now, you can't go above 100%, but, so, when these little hobbies or, you know,
So my next thing for you is which you discussed this because you fly by the seat of your pants, is mapping out your story. So going ahead and mapping out where it's going to go. So the next thing that they have on the list is to write something else, which we just talked about. You write in the children's book.
yeah, like one of the videos we covered before, but so you'll have writers and on a wall they'll shoot so you can see it. And it's all these little notes and it's like strings going back and forth to them. And whenever I see that, I can't hear anything the person's saying because I am just too like ADD about that. Like again, the ring. No matter what we do, the ring is always there. So as I'm writing there, in my mind, yeah, the girl from the ring is always over my shoulder just whispering incredibly graphically dirty things to me. And I thought she was here to kill me, but then instead she's going to give me the old face of death. I don't really know. Again, I don't remember the ring. I don't even know if I saw it. But it bothers me. So long story short, when I'm doing the notes, I don't do it like that. I write linear. I start and I keep going. Sometimes I jump ahead and then write back from there. Are you yawning?
I was trying not to. Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah.
Long day, sorry.
Okay. So next question.
Do you work on your characters?
Do I work on my characters?
Mm-hmm. When you get writer's block.
I don't get the writer's block.
Okay, so that's something you don't do. Stop writing.
Whenever I'm not writing, that's when I'm working on the characters. I want to.
You're working on them in your head when you're not writing.
Yeah, they become real. Inside my head, like any good writer will tell you, if you can't make it real in your head, if you can't explain it like it's a real place, how are you going to get somebody else to believe it? Okay, I've written this bullshit book. Okay, none of it's real. Okay, all of it happens in fairy tale land, but I want you to believe it. Okay, so therefore it elevates itself from bullshit to reality. You yourself have to believe it's a reality. That's I mean, I'm not the only writer saying that.
Okay, so I have a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
So another one is stop writing for writers. So you write for yourself. You write what you want.
Oh yeah, all right. So I don't write for other people. Like Caroline, she likes what I write, and I got another friend. I'm not going to mention her name, but she's all like, I really think this character should do this. I really think the character should do that. And I'm like, I'm not writing the book for you. Okay, I'm writing the book for myself, and then I'm going to give it out to the world. But when a person does that, what I'm saying, a lot of people include their family. My wife is my only family member that I have as writing it. All my family on my family side is dead, and I'd say it's good for me.
So you're just writing for you.
Yeah, if you write, let's say you're the imaginary person, you person right there in the blue shirt, right there. You're writing, and your critique partner or your best friend is reading your stuff, and they're in the middle of being as baked as they could possibly be, and they're like, the character should do this and that, but if you write it to there, that character is no longer yours. You're letting somebody else influence you when it comes to that, and it could affect your story. Write for you, okay, so that you can give that out as a gift to the world.
And then the last one I have for you is to improve your writing as you go.
Well, yeah, as you write, you will your writing will improve.
Yes. So as writer's block, so don't worry about.
Yeah, if you got writer's block, and it happens to some people. Me, I've cooked this story for a long time. Okay, so it's very easy for me to do what I'm doing in this story. I wouldn't begin to know how to write like an Isaac Asimov robot esque storyline, simply because I haven't spent the time to do that. So I'm not saying I'm impervious to writer's block. I know I'll get it. But the story I have right now, I've played with it for so long on so many deployments that it's just ready to be vomited out onto the pages. So just don't beat yourself up for it. Take some time. Take a hot shower. Take a nap. Do you. Keep your mental health about you, and don't worry.
Just think, if one thing doesn't do it, try something new.
Yeah. Besides, are you on a deadline? 99% of the 3 people that watch this video are not on a deadline. I am not on a deadline.
Okay, so that is all we have for today.
Yep.
So if you like our content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below.
Maybe this thing. That's subscribe. It doesn't make any noise when I touch it.
Ding. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you want to get more updates on the book, go ahead and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Parler, and MeWe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps grow the channel.
And don't forget to share it out. And we are also on Rumbler. And you know what? We haven't talked about Patreon in a while.
Yeah, I haven't put the Patreon video out yet, but the long and the short of it is I'm going to be selling out 50 spots to be in the book. And you think to yourself, whoa, my name could be in a book? Yes, you could. I even have one winner. Belinda Plant is the very first winner. And her and I are working on one of 3. We've narrowed it down to one of 3 characters she could be. And so not only are you going to get a little insight into the book, but you're going to get your name in there. And if you don't want your name, say you don't like your name, we can create a name together, but you get credited in the opening part of the book as, like a contest winner. I don't know how I'm going to credit it, but your name will be in there as a contributor in some way, shape, or form. So we'll be updating you on that contest soon. And all proceeds to go into that go directly into the editing process because I love my editor, but it is not inexpensive.
You said that wrong.
What did I say?
It says not expensive.
I said it's not inexpensive.
Inexpensive. I thought you said
Did
expensive.
I say that wrong? All right, well, let me just take it again. It is not inexpensive. That shit costs some money. But I'm going to quote a famous person. I'm going to quote myself. You pay for what you get. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And I'm so far, I'm very, very happy with my editor. And you pay for what you get, By the time somebody's watching this video and it blows up, I'll be famous by then. So therefore, I can quote myself, Mm-hmm. Yeah, I quoted myself.
So that is all we have for you today. So we will see you next time.
Bye.